So this is a weird angle and perspective you've never seen me from. In fact, I don't think I've ever made a video actually from my new house. I say new house, it was actually finished construction in February of 2019, and we've been living here since March of 2019. So we've been here exactly a year. And there's something in this house that has been desperately lacking. The Elite XG270QG from ViewSonic breaks the traditional ugly appearance of gaming monitors by providing an ultra-clean design while still delivering gamers the features that they want most. Features like a 1 millisecond response time, IPS 165Hz overclock display, black brushed aluminum stand with tilt and swivel, mouse and keyboard cable anchors, and customizable subtle lighting. To learn more about the XG270GQ from ViewSonic and to see current pricing, click the link in the description below. So I come to you from inside my home, so be on your best behavior. I don't invite just anyone into my home. This home was built in 2018 and then finished construction beginning of 2019. We've been living here about a year now. You guys have seen pictures and stuff. I've tweeted from in here, and obviously I've done like Instagram and showed you guys the dog and the Husky and all that, which she's in the dog run right now because we're getting some backyard work done, and I'm filming this right now, so I don't want her running all around, but I digress. That's not the point. As you can see, we've done a lot of stuff in here. I had a big hand in a lot of the decorating of this house. We've had the built-ins built. I obviously hung the TV and stuff there. A lot of people were like, why is it so high? Believe it or not, when you're sitting this far back, we're like 20-something feet back from that TV. That's a 75-inch. It definitely is not bad to be laying there looking at the TV. So it's not too high, whatever. If you guys don't want a TV that high, don't mount yours that high. So the house is a smart home. It's super cool, super comfortable. Like, I mean, basic commands like, hey, turn off the downstairs lights.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's cool. Turn on the downstairs lights.
Okay.
So, one of the things though that is super terrible, and I'm sorry about the shadows and stuff, is my home office. Yeah, it's not good. So a year ago when I first moved into this house, I was like, I'm gonna do a cool setup. I'm gonna do something that would make any tech tuber proud. That was a bad idea, sitting in front of the window. I would do anything to make any tech tuber proud. And then I had to do things like get Ethernet run to this room, because although we had this home built, we could not customize like the wiring and stuff. So you can't really see it because the light is casting a light on it. But there's a patch of white right there because we cut into the wall and grabbed Ethernet from up in the ceiling and brought it down to behind my love sack is the Ethernet. This is just a dining room table that we had at the other house, and I was like, I'll use it as a desk for now. This room turned into what so many rooms turn into, and that is the catch-all, which makes me hate this room. So we've got a lot of things we gotta get done. So this is gonna be a multi-series or multi-part video series about building my ultimate office. And I still don't even know if it's gonna be in this room, because we have a spare bedroom upstairs, which is bigger than this one, that's hardly used, maybe a handful of times a year, that I think I might take over that one. But this one needs some work, because if you look at the carpet right there, this unfortunately is the result of a Husky puppy that broke out of her kennel when she was sleeping down here after getting spayed, and she tore up the carpet out of anger. Hey, don't get mad at me. She normally sleeps with us upstairs, but the doctor said she's not allowed to go upstairs because of her sutures and stuff. That rule was quickly relaxed after she destroyed my carpet. So that sort of killed any motivation I had to get it done. I shared a Twitter post that someone made regarding their home setup, and I was just like, oh my God, it's time I do something. So now we're gonna head upstairs to where the other room is that I think will make a great home office, if you will. And this is the upstairs loft right here. Couch, the OLED, the Xbox and PlayStation, and my Definitive Technologies surround theater setup is in there. This room is actually bigger than the other room. It's hard to tell on camera, right? It's bigger, it's a little longer. The closet's a little different shape. I like that this kind of protrudes into the room so that when you first walk in, you're kind of met with that, and then you have to turn into the room. It's got 2 windows, so that means better cross flow of air in the evening if I open up the windows, and a little bit more natural daylight. Fat, I'm out of breath. So one of the things I kind of want to do is maybe film from home every now and then with a setup that makes a really good backdrop. But I still haven't decided if this is going to be the room. So I've got a carpeting contractor coming tonight to take a look and give me a quote at how quickly they can replace the carpet. And then I've got a painter coming to paint this room and the downstairs room because we wanted to make them darker anyway. Wood tones and warm wood tones and a darker gray to make the room just more comforting and inviting rather than being bright and energetic, if that makes sense. We want it to be a little bit more of a relaxation type of deal. But yeah, I just haven't decided exactly which room I want to do that in. It's turning out to be a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. So obviously one of the things I'm going to have to do though in the downstairs office is I'm going to have to get all the junk out of here, stage as much of it as I can in my office or in my garage, because here in my garage, because of the fact that obviously for the carpet to be done, which has to be done regardless, everything has to be out of here. Probably gonna take this this dining room table to the office or the studio and turn it into something there. And then, yeah, this room will get painted. So at the very least, I need to get everything to the center of the room, as much disassembled as possible. That way I can easily transition, because I haven't decided, again, like I said, which room is gonna be my home office. So if you want a size comparison though, basically the one upstairs is bigger by the same amount as if we were to whack the closet off. And then, let's rephrase that. If we were to remove the closet from the floor plan and push it back to the wall where the door is and then have the closet, that's about the difference. Only about 2 feet, but you'd be surprised what 2 feet does when there's only 12 feet to begin with. So I said earlier that the dogs weren't in the house because they were in the side yard because someone's working in the backyard. I let them in the house and I'm eating lunch, which just happens to be tacos. And they're never far behind when there's food, is there? What? You wanna be famous? You a famous dog? Are you famous? I guess since it's a vlog, I can take this opportunity to share with you guys some of our Husky's training. As I say that, she's like sticking her head up on the table like I can almost reach his plate. So she's only a year old. She's born the day after Christmas. Watch this. Her name is Zuri. Zuri, come. Zuri, sit. Sit, stay. Good girl. Zuri, come. All right, you like that? He is not very trained. He's just old and he's a rescue. All right, so I know someone watching this video has a dog that anytime you open the front door, they're in between your legs, they're running around, they're trying to get out, they're uncontrollable. You got the UPS guy, you're trying to hold back your dog, and that's all super annoying. So here, let me go ahead and demonstrate Zuri's training here. Zuri, come. 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 You know why she's not coming? Because I didn't say this. Break. Liar. Break. Come on. Good girl. Now look, we're outside. No leash. Super good girl, because she ain't a bolter. Good girl. Yeah, we've done this enough to where she knows when I'm trying to trick her. Sit. Down. Good girl. Stay right there. Now, when she has to go outside, she lets us know by ringing some chimes that we have by the door. But we could also make her do it too. Watch. Zuri, go touch. Come on, touch.
She's like, no, thank you.
Good girl. Now watch. She's touching right now. She's making them ring, so she knows she's doing what she's supposed to. But if I ignore her, she'll get more violent. No, that's my food. Ah! Touch! 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 Now the other thing too is you open the back door. So you saw that she's trained not to go out. She's also trained not to come in. Watch. As far as she's concerned, she's out. See, she's out doing Husky things. But watch this. So if I open the door. Zuri, you want in? Do you want inside? Do you want inside? Do you want inside? That's what I thought. She doesn't do anything until you tell her break. There you go. But don't break to my tacos. All right, so it's quite a few hours later. I've got, look at this, an empty closet. Nothing in my closet. So, it's because it's all on the floor. But the part of this video is the sentimental last shutdown of Skunkworks. One of the things I said was I wanted Nebula to be a centerpiece of my home office. Now I'm not even sure I want Nebula to be in my office because it's so big and I started getting into small PCs. But regardless, I'm gonna bring Nebula home and PC tower can always change. The setup itself is not. But I kind of want to show you something. Not sure how well it's picking up on camera, but the CPU loop once again, and yeah, it's super dusty and gross in there. Oof. The CPU loop once again, the color started to fall out. So let me go ahead and turn off the system. You can see how it's semi-transparent, but as soon as it turns off, any day now, because X299 is slow. Look at that. So the GPU loop still is nice and vibrant as ever. Look at the CPU loop. It was only looking opaque because of the fact that it's UV reactive. Look at that, it's like transparent again. I don't know what happened with that loop. It just started, and then I cleaned it, did that one video, and then it did it again. So anyway, that's where I'm gonna end this portion of the vlog because of the fact that the carpet guy is gonna be here soon to kind of do his measurements and give us a quote and all that, because we need to get, like I said, that all fixed. And we'll pick this up where it leaves off. I know the first part is kind of boring. It's just sort of talking about things and showing you stuff no one really ever cares about, but we're truly documenting this from beginning to end. All right, it's the next morning, so let me show you what we got done here. I know it's this weird vloggy angle, right? So the table's still put together in the middle. I collapsed the leaf. This is gonna go to the studio. My sim rig's gonna stay down here while we paint. The closet is completely packed and ready to go. I got a couple boxes down there. I got my first quote for the carpet last night. $1,200 because we had to go with the premium crap, right? So I have another quote, another contractor coming today to give me a quote on carpet. Remember the rule, quotes of 3 and then go out based off of that. Never take the first quote. I feel like that one was a bit inflated. But there's something I've got to do because I think I'm going to put my office upstairs because the room is bigger. There's something we have to do. We have to get internet in that room, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it. So the upstairs lot that I showed you actually has an Ethernet jack, and the only thing running to that was actually the TV. All the consoles and stuff were on wireless. This TV can go on wireless as well. I've actually got our Ruckus wireless hotspot in the ceiling right up there. So it's got a really good line of sight to the wireless. But on the other side of this wall is, well, the other wall. So I can actually just punch that through, and then what'll happen is it'll come out on the other side of this stud over here. So I've got the box, I've got my drill, and we're gonna go ahead and do that now. And in fact, I can demonstrate that right now. So I'm actually sitting, this is when the house was being built. One of the best pieces of advice a follower gave me who had their house built. They said, go take pictures before they do the drywall and the sheetrock. That way you know where all the water lines are, all the electrical lines and everything. So I'm actually sitting in this room facing the wall. So this plug right there with the coaxial is that one right there. So this is actually reversed, right? So I know obviously the stud is right there because the box is always mounted on the stud. I know it's on this side. So I know that the box that has the Ethernet, which is that guy right there on the left, is on the other side of the back right there. So I'm just gonna cut a hole here. I don't need to actually cut it against the stud and mount it with the screw like these boxes are, because I've just got one of the boxes here with the expansion little butterfly wings. So once that goes in, you tighten it up, these little wings open up and then grab, and then it won't come out, just like we showed at the studio. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a hole here. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill a hole first. And I do have a stud finder, but I happen to know that the studs are only like 1 7/8 or something like that. So, and you can also hear when you knock on it. Stud right there. See how it goes more hollow? So I'm just gonna move over to where I know I would be clear from the stud. And I'm gonna drill a hole to give me a place to get my knife to start. And there we go. Well, if there's any contractors following me, you already know what I did wrong. That's why we do DIY, so we can learn. The depth of this box, obviously there's one on the other side, which means I drilled right into that box, which means there's no depth for this. So I've got to move this over more. Account for the depth. Yay. So I'm not ready to put it in yet, obviously. I have to get the Ethernet through the other side out that box. I'm about to cut a hole or something in the box to get the cable through. But as you can see now, so this just fits in there, nice and snug. And then our plate will go on it like that. All the parts, including the saw, because I didn't actually have a drywall saw, was 18 bucks for all this. So I want to reuse this because it's already terminated. They use one of these, I can't remember what they're called, but punch downs, I think they're called. I can't remember, punch, whatever. So I want to push this through the other side, but if you see in there, it's kind of dark. There's those holes that they pass through. So I can't just go drilling in there because obviously there are things in there. So what I'm going to do, because these are screwed into the studs, and as you can see, the contractor didn't even screw that one down all the way. I'm going to undo these 2 screws to pull the box out. That way I can modify the box to get it through and push it to the other side. Fun fact, these boxes actually have nails on the side that you hammer in. The box is upside down. So instead of using the hammers, because I can see the nails sticking through the other side, I can show you. They just put it in upside down and then screwed it in. All right, so I cheated a little bit. And basically what I did is I put a hole, I enlarged the hole in the bottom. And so it's coming through the top of the box and it's going down through there and into the wall. Not the way it should be done, but we had plenty of slack for me to do it without me taking this out. I was gonna try and take the box all the way out, but that wasn't gonna work simply because of the fact that it still had those nails sticking through the other side because this was put on at the time of framing and then drywall was cut to go over it. There's no way I was gonna get it out. So this works without me having to redo the terminal at the end. The only thing is I forgot to get a single plug so that just my coaxial will be sitting there without a hole. That's fine, I can change that later, that's simple enough. And then this is what we've got here on this side. So now, I've got to punch out this hole and pass it through into the box. All right, so after enlarging the hole in this box, just like I had to do in the other one, I fed it through, put the box in, screwed down the screws right here, which make the butterflies open. And this box is actually in here better than the other one that's actually mounted to the stud. Except for those stupid holes. So it's pretty simple now. We simply take it, click it into this, screw that on, and then we have Ethernet here in my office. Now in hindsight, I know what some of you might be thinking. Why didn't I just push it through the box that's already existing on this side of the wall that the coax is coming out of, this guy right here, and to have both of them in the same game or box like it is on the other side? Well, the reason for that is it would have been nearly impossible for me to fish it into the wall and then back into this box without being able to reach my hand in there. So this was just a simpler, easier method rather than trying to drill into that box. Also too, with how big I had to make the hole to fit it through there with the junction or the terminal on the end of it, made it a lot more pain in the ass. If it was just terminated to a standard Cat 5 and then plugs on either end, yeah, I guess that adds points of failure, but for a home, it's fine. I wouldn't do it in a network center, obviously, or a data center. But this was just simpler, and I think more people could do this method than trying to feed from one box to another. I just got extremely lucky that I have Ethernet on the other side of the wall I wanted it on. If it were somewhere else in the house, I would have had to have gone up in the crawl space. I would have had to have fed it down the wall, and that would have been not impossible because there is a data center closet in this house that I could have grabbed the line from. But either way, we are up and running, and yeah, so I'm gonna leave it like this now because of painting, and that's where we're gonna go ahead and end part 1 on this. I know not a lot got covered in this video. It was more talking and kind of prep and planning, but I wanted you guys to kind of see where we're gonna be going with all this as we move forward. I'm gonna be doing things like smart light switches, smart locks. I'm gonna be obviously building my desk from pieces, a lot of IKEA, which is kind of, I guess, the requirement for a tech tuber, but I got some good ideas, I think. So maybe what I'll do at the end of this, even though I'm ending the video now, is I'll show you guys what the rooms look like when they're painted so you can see the color. And then I think tonight, Phil and I are gonna head and go pick up some furniture so we can actually start putting some of this together in part 2. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys are gonna enjoy this series. I'm gonna enjoy putting it together. I've never attempted anything on this scale. Okay, Jay, yeah, you built the studio. That's a little different. The studio's mine. I don't have to keep the wife happy. So this is gonna be a challenge, if you will. All right, so here's what the rooms look like painted. So the color is done. It's funny, it looks so gray on camera.
Oh, my pardon?
Phil's, I don't know, that. Here it is. It's got definitely a bit of a blue. It's definitely a gray based on blue. A little bit more blue than I was expecting. However, I think it turned out really, really well.
Hey, why are there those 2 holes there?
Shut up. Those are ventilation holes. They're supposed to be there. So anyway, as you can see the color, I like it a lot. And with the white trim, like you can see with the shutters right there, there's the white baseboards. Like I might even come and do a white crown molding here at some point, which gives me an opportunity for some cove light and stuff. So that's gonna end part 1. And I love this gray already. Phil, look at this. Come look at what grade. It's like, look how well it makes the. Well, you're how tall?
5'2".
And I'm 6'3", so there you go. Okay, so anyway, that's the end of part 1. Lots of talking, not so much doing, but now that the painting is done, this is gonna be my office, not downstairs. We're gonna get the carpet replaced, that'll be the spare bedroom. We're gonna run to IKEA now and get stuff, so you guys are gonna have to see how it starts to turn out in part 2.